Man, when I started this Let's Play, not this episode, but the series back in January, I thought it was going to be a very, very short series, because everywhere I looked, this is like, it's not a very long game. And here we are, months and months and months later, and we're still coming through the story. Part of it is I was busy, so I didn't get to release as many episodes as I'd like to. Either way, it's a very interesting game, and Anton has a thing to decide right now. Ownership of the major corporations. Lucian and I arrived at the Ministry of the Economy. Can we just make a decision? I am not interested in listening to Simon or a million other people give me their dumbass input about what they want to do. We want to privatize the two big corporations, the mining company and the other one. Not only because we need the money, but also because we want to move to more of a free market economy. But also, I hadn't thought about till now, they would be big private companies, and since I put that tax hike on big private companies, on big corporations, that might even bring in more tax revenue. You know, as much as I'm not in love with the oligarchs buying control of these companies, which I'm sure some of them will try to do, at least if they're paying massive taxes, and we have our anti-corruption police on the lookout doing a good job busting corruption, that should be mostly win-win. I do not want to talk to all of you guys. I might skip through most of this meeting. I really do not care about any of these guys' opinions. Assistants took our coats and showed us in the meeting room where Simon, Edith, Gus, and Mikhail with the cool kid who stole a yacht, were waiting. Or was it the other? Yeah, I think it was Mikhail's. As soon as I entered, their chatter stopped and they stood up. After a few pleasantries, everyone but Simon took their seats. He opened his briefcase, produced a folder, and proceeded to go over some of the documents.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Ministry of Economy. Without further ado, we are, of course, here to discuss our economic shift towards privatization.
Mikhail and Edith exchanged smiles.
Mr. President, before you arrived, Mikhail and Edith were expressing their delight at your decision to go down this path.
You know what the best thing they could do, Simon, to show they're happy, is shut the fuck up.
Wonderful news, I'd say. I'm glad we're finally staying firmly on the path to a market economy.
This was certainly the right decision. It will boost our economy by providing the government much-needed funds right now. Yeah, thanks, Numbnuts and Mrs. Numbnuts. I'm glad to have you tell me what I already know. We can then use those funds to increase development for the future. It's a win-win situation for sure. Or pay off our national debt, or at least pay it down. Yeah, I'm glad we're on the same page. Can we move this on? I want to go see my wife or something. Certainly. Simon handed me and everyone else in the room 2 neat stacks of documents. No more reading.
Let's move on to how we can go about implementing a privatization plan.
Here's how we do it, Simon, you dumb fuck. We do an IPO. What would really be smart is we do a staggered IPO. Let's sell the company a quarter at a time so that it keeps driving the price up, up, and up as the oligarchs fight for the stock. Then we can make maximum amount of money.
Please turn to page 6.
I don't want to, game. Why are you making me turn to page 6? I'll do it. The title was Sordland State Corporation.
As you can see on the document, the first company up for discussion is the Sordland State Corporation. The Sordland State Corporation, or SSC for short.
Shut up, Simon. Shut up. We know it's the construction company. Shut up. We know they build things. Lilius is in love with them. Fine.
Privatizing a company like this would certainly increase the government's budget. That, of course, would result in lots of opportunities for us to provide for our citizens.
The funds could be used to boost our popularity, especially with the elections approaching.
Honey, unless something changes, we're not looking good for the elections. Can we get our constitutional reform through before that?
Not to mention the various other areas in which we can and should spend money.
Like paying off the debt?
However, there is one catch. The conservative majority of the USP would not like this decision at all. For them, these state companies are part and parcel of Sordland identity.
Lucian, I love you, man. But 3 words. Shut the fuck. Okay, it's 4 words. Up. I don't care what they think. I don't care what the assembly thinks. I don't care if our party bitches and moans. I'm not selling them minority stuff. I already know what to do. Let's move on to the next option. I am not interested in all of your opinions.
Very well, turn to page 26.
I turned to page 26. The title was Nita Mining Group. Can I say ditto? The same thing for this one?
Nita Mining Group. It is one of the largest mining corporations in eastern Maricopa, let alone Sordland. They call themselves the leaders of the world in coal. They certainly have enough evidence to back that up. Perhaps they are not as large as SSC, but we still have a lot to gain if Nita Mining Group is privatized. I fully support privatization of this company to any extent. Certainly a good option is to gain enough capital to end the recession once and for all.
I have contacts in Needham. It's one of the most valuable corporations of the last decade. Oh, you want an award for that? You want a fucking prize for that?
Yeah, I can vouch for that. I have personal experience with the company myself. It would be a great addition to any portfolio.
Go tell Tusk and, what's his name? Karani that. Yeah, I know. Fine. I know what I want to do. Let's just move along.
Sounds good. Let's go over the document once again then.
No, let's not. I read all of Simon's documents once more and then flipped to the last page. It was time to make some decisions. The companies below represent the two largest state corporations, which play a key role in several strategic industries. You can privatize them by selling a minority, majority, or the entire of the company to private interests. We're just going to sell the whole damn thing. Sell it all. We are divesting ourselves of these businesses as we embrace a full market economy. Double checking to make sure I did it right on both of them. I signed the document, altering the ownership of the Big Four with a flourish. Simon leaned back into his chair.
So, this is the path we're taking.
I want to thank you, Mr. President.
Look, Mikhail, you dumb fucking son of a bitch. You and your really cool kid better get me some votes on that Constitution. Okay?
This decision will revitalize the economy. Eliminating the recession completely is not so far off now.
I'm not so sure if you're right. What you mean is the rich are going to be able to buy into this and do well, but there's got to be a way to divest ourselves of it. This will definitely show our trade partners that Sordland is moving in the right direction, which in turn will increase trust, which means more income. I hope you're right. If we can get an alliance with Lesbia, or hopefully more so Arcasia, join NATO, that would be just massive. Excellent decision.
I have to agree.
Don't sound so surprised, Simon.
I'm not so sure about that. Yes, fully privatizing state corporations might give us the budget boost required to help end the recession. But we can only pave the way forward for Sordland if we are leading the country from the top.
Lucian, I'm not going to disagree with you. I disagree with you. But, time will tell. Maybe you'll be right. But we got to get out of those businesses. We've got to embrace a full market, free market economy.
We might have been able to survive if you privatized only one of the companies, but fully privatizing both of them. Mr. President, your decision will cost us the support of every single conservative in the Assembly.
Did we have the support of any conservatives in the Assembly? Right now, I don't think we did. If we did, you should have told me. What we have is the reformists, people not in our party, and maybe some of the moderates. The conservatives are already against us.
Of course, that includes the leader of the conservative wing of your own party, Gloria Tory.
Yeah, she doesn't already like me.
I also want to remind you that the majority of the Assembly is conservative. We have our work cut out for us.
Well then, Lucian, I'm gonna have to hope you can get to it and make it work. He frowned, bowed slightly, and spoke with a soft voice.
Right away, sir.
Look, I'm sorry, Lucian, but if we're truly going to embrace the West and a free market approach, we can't half-ass it. We gotta full-ass it.
I will see what I can do, but this might be the hardest task you've ever given me.
Lucian, I believe it, and I'd be willing to give you all the money I have to help you with that task.
You have no money.
Exactly. You know what? I have complete trust in your capabilities, Lucian. If anyone can do it, You can do it.
I will do my best. If you excuse me, I have to get to work immediately. There is much to be done.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have fucked it up with trying to get the Constitution changed, but... Lucian picked up his bag and started making his way to the entrance.
That'll be it for today, then. I know everyone has very busy schedules.
Hopefully, though, hopefully the moderates in our party see that we made the right choice.
Thank you all for coming.
Good work, everybody? I'm not going to say good work, everybody. They didn't do anything. They sat there and watched me make a decision. I want to see the results as soon as possible, ya numbnuts.
Oh, of course, as fast as we can.
I put the documents in my suitcase and left the room with Lucian. Well, no news. Normally there's like lots of news. What do we got here? An overview. Oh my god! We paid off most of the debt. Not all of the debt, unfortunately. That must have been from selling the companies. We went from -4 debt to -1. That's good news. I don't want to read these. These might not be good news. Okay, no red ones. No red news. That's good. Private sector expanded. That's good news. I mean, it's orange, but I think that's good. In an effort to boost the private sector and encourage competition, the government has sold its shares in state-owned corporations. This move has allowed for more private investment and greater efficiency in the market. However, it has also led to concerns about the loss of government control and the potential exploitation by private companies. Yeah, some of that's going to happen. Good news, good news, good news. No red. And our debt is mostly paid off. I was worried about that really big debt, as you could tell. What else we got going on? There's something in the global picture. Sordland's privatization of state enterprises, the right direction. Ado likes what we did. In a significant move that marks a major transition in its economic policy, Sordland has initiated the privatization of its state enterprises. The decision has been praised by Ado, signaling a potential paradigm shift in the nation's economic landscape. The initiative aims to stimulate, oh yeah baby, competition further, foster innovation, and improve service quality, whilst boosting the nation's overall economic growth. This policy change is part of a broader economic reform package introduced by Sordland, intending to reduce state monopoly in key industries and encourage foreign investment. I hadn't thought of that. That is a reason for more foreigners, and Arcasians are already investing in our country, as are Ignolians, Anglandians, whatever their name is up there. Yeah, get more foreign investment. With a particular focus on sectors such as energy, telecommunications, and transportation, the privatization move is expected to stimulate efficiency and competitiveness, thereby attracting potential international investors. As Sordland positions itself as a pro-market economy, Ado recognizes this initiative as an encouraging sign of Sordland's commitment to a free and open economy. Hell yeah! Let's get Ado, man. Let's join that bitch. Especially since they've made peace with Quinal on the PMC private military thing. And our economy be growing. And we only have one negative government. And I probably shouldn't click this because something bad could happen. Don't look at it. Alright, so we can look at the results of the economic direction or the Unified Education Language Act. If I remember, the Education Act was the leader of the NFP saying everybody has to learn Sordish. The Grand National Assembly advances the Unified Education Language Act, the whatever, it's got a lot of letters, to strengthen national unity and facilitate consistent, comprehensive learning across Sordland. Section 1 of the stipulates that all education institutions in Sordland are required to conduct their teaching in the country's official language, except in the case of foreign language instruction. To offer courses in any language other than Sordish, institutions must obtain explicit approval from the Ministry of Education. Any universities, technical colleges, or other educational institutions found to be non-compliant will face a temporary suspension of operations until they apply for and receive necessary approval. Section 2 of the underscores the enforcement of the Act. Schools found to be in violation of these guidelines may face penalties, which may include reduction or withdrawal of funding. In severe cases or cases of persistent non-compliance, total shutdowns may be enforced. This enforcement mechanism reinforces the commitment to a unified language policy, ensuring a cohesive education experience across the nation. I'm going to veto it. Look, there's good things. If it was only Swordish has to be taught everywhere, if only comprehensive Swordish had to be taught everywhere, I would say yes. But the fact that it has to be the number one language taught, I don't care if Bluish schools teach it as number 2, as long as the people are fluent in it, number 1. Number 2, to punish universities or technical colleges for this is insane. So we will veto it. I know the NFP, the ultra-righties will hate us for that, but no. No news about it? That's surprising. What else we got? Results of the economic direction. Oh, great. We got that sleazeball Tusk and Karanti here. 2 of these people are people I do not want to talk to. And Lucian's not the problem. The privatization process had begun, and as I expected, Sordland's 2 most prominent oligarchs wanted to speak to me about it. I wonder if Ewald Alfonso would have been here. Oh, he's not a prominent oligarch anymore since Gassam went bankrupt. Ha ha ha! Eat it, poor. Lucian showed, of course we're poor too, showed Marcel Caranti and Walter Tusk into the conference room. The 2 men sat across the table from me, leaving an empty chair between them. Haven't we already sold it? We've already got the money.
Good to see you, Mr. President. It's been a while. Here, take this, a gift.
I don't want your gifts. He brought a bottle of early maroon 30-year-old. I assume that's a drink and not a 30-year-old person.
I heard Peter say that you favor this one.
No matter how you bribe me, you won't get what you want here, Walter. Marcel burst out laughing. That's kind of enjoyable, because I hate Tusk. Karanti is sleazy. You know, I'm not a fan of him, but I hate Tusk, because he's annoying and crooked. Oh man, you always think so small, which is funny for such a big fatty. You lack the vision to see the bigger picture. Marcel approached me and we shook hands. It's nice to see you, Mr. President. Yeah, a real gift. He took a set of car keys from his pocket and gave it to me. All right, this man knows how to bribe, right? I'm offended at Tusk now, trying to bribe me with some shitty-ass wine. Maybe the wine was worth more than the car, I don't know. But, like, Karanti, like, coming up with a car? Like, man, this guy knows how to do it. Come, take a look. I looked out the window. On the road leading to the palace, I saw a glittering, brand new, Randorfini sports car. A sports car? I'm poor. When I have nowhere to live after the election, my family can't live in a sports car. You should have got me a Winnebago. A car that only the richest of the richest in Sordland could afford. It's all yours. That's tempting to take. It's really tempting to take. I want to go watch a playthrough where somebody took both of them. I can't accept a luxury car while the people of Sordland go hungry, Marcel, but that's a pretty good bribe, I gotta say. High five. I can't take it, but... Marcel shrugged. Well, sue yourself.
Little boy, you think I can't do better? Me, Walter Tusk?
Dude, you always is a lame ass when you trying to bribe. Remember when you said get some fish and rice when we had a restaurant? Like that's supposed to get me? Whatever you numbnuts want, bribery won't work. And this is absolutely no bribe, Mr. President. It's simply a gift, that's all. I'm so glad Pete's not in charge of this. Pete would have taken both of them. Really, a simple gift? Lucian used to be a spy. Karate chop them both right now. It'll be hilarious. I bet this has nothing to do with the recent privatization. Anyway, gentlemen, please take your seats. They sat down. Lucian produced a set of documents from his briefcase. He put on his reading glasses.
So, Mr. Tusk and Mr. Cranty, President Rayne is about to sell private shares in Sordland's 2 largest national corporations, and now you're here showering him with gifts. You're both clearly more skilled at business than you are at subterfuge.
Oh, burn! Burn! Do I need to call the health minister, Pascal, to help you with those burns, you losers?
So, tell us, why do you deserve to claim these shares before they go on the general market?
We shouldn't... Lucian, we shouldn't sell any of these before on the general market. Sell them in a staggered IPO, and then they'll bid against each other and drive the price up and bring us more money. Don't you guys know anything about how the market works? And this shit always goes up. After IPOs, things always go up for some dumbass reason, and then you give it a couple months and the shit crashes. What we ought to do, Lucian, is do that. Sell it for a ton, hold on to half the cash, and when it crashes, buy the companies back. Walter cleared his throat.
President, listen. We, you, and I, and me, and us, and we, and us, I haven't been on the best of terms lately.
Dude, we have never been on the best of terms. It's because your mustache is weak, and it makes me embarrassed to look at you. Grow a manly mustache beard like me, or a nice goatee like Galad, or at least be naked like babyface Karanti there.
I want to nurture a profitable relationship between us where we both win. These shares are very important to me. If I had them, I could do so much for Sordland.
Like you haven't done yet?
So much more for you. You haven't even seen what I and my connections are capable of.
You're capable about being really shitty at trying to bribe people.
Do you want to get reelected? No problem. I'll make sure of it.
If you could do that, motherfucker, you would be president. I don't think you could even help me. At least Karanti controls the media.
This is my offer to you. I will do whatever it takes to make you president for another term. Doesn't that sound great?
No, you know how many meetings I gotta go to? That sucks. You know, I'm almost okay with being a one-termer. If I win, Tusk, it will be on my own strength.
Well, yeah, of course you will. Of course you will, honey. Don't make light of me, though, President. I'm saying this precisely because I believe you, and I believe you're capable of doing it. You definitely can. That's why I want to help you.
Oh no, before you spew those big words, make sure you can actually do it, Walter. Mr. President, first off, Mr. Tusk here is lying about the extent of his influence.
Yeah, I believe it. He doesn't own a TV network like you do.
True, he might have command over some people in the assembly. But what he is sitting on top of right now was built for by my father, Conrath Conranti. I want to be straightforward with you.
None of you mofos are ever straightforward. You was as straight as a banana.
If you give me the shares, I will topple this old man.
But Karanti, I wish I was crooked so bad. Because I would get a free car and I would help you. I love how straightforward and devious you are.
Which means I'll have the same influence he does over the assembly. I can sway them as you like.
Can you beat Sierra in the head? She's in the assembly.
But that is not all, Mr. President. Don't forget that I have something that gives me an edge over this man and his archaic ways. A powerful tool.
Like a drill?
Control over the media.
That's more powerful than a drill, unless you're trying to put a hole in a wall.
I can give you power over both the assembly and the Sordish public.
I'm not going to take him up on his offer, but his offer is real. I mean, I don't know if he'd come through on it, but he potentially has the power to. Tusk's offer is weak as fuck.
Basically, a guaranteed win.
Lucian, cover your ears. Don't hear this, Lucian. Lucian is going to want me to back Karanti, because he's ever the pragmatist. Lucian, don't listen to any of this.
He could never, ever hope to beat this offer.
You little snake! You are 20 years too early to be head of the Lothar group. I made this group what it is.
Perhaps, but Marcel has a point.
I told you Lucien would back Marcel.
What is the decision, Mr. President?
Yeah, what's it gonna be?
Marcel leaned forward with anticipation. I can say the shares will go to Marcel with insider trading. I can say the shares will go to Walter, insider trading, but I get one personal wealth. I can say the shares will be equally distributed between you, both insider trading. I don't know why I would do that. Or I could say, what I'm going to say, I am sick of these shenanigans. You'll have to squabble over the shares when they enter the market just like everyone else. Remember, bid high and bid often. Pay a lot. Hopefully they get in a bidding war with each other and pay a shitload.
What? Haven't you heard a word I said?
Yeah, can't you see how good of a deal I'm offering here?
You don't understand. They don't understand Anton. Anton maybe isn't the sharpest tool in the shed. He certainly isn't the greediest. But you know what Anton wants? Anton wants his children to have a better life than he had. He grew up drafted into military service in a country that has known civil war and military dictatorship and corrupt politicians, and he wants his kids to grow up in a world where people can change things, where people can work for a job, and if they don't like it, go find another job, where the people have at least an opportunity, whether they take it or not, to elect people who represent them. In a world that's less corrupt. There will always be corruption. He doesn't want his kids to have to go through what he did. And that's why we have to break the cycle, even if we're poor forever. And this is why Anton will not give in.
I believe the President has already told you his decision, Mr. Tusk, Mr. Caranti.
This is why I love Lucien, right? I think Lucien secretly wanted us to lean towards Caranti. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I'm right, though. But when you need to, when you make a decision, Lucien has your motherfucking back. He's ride or die.
Well, it turns out we're very terribly busy today, so I would like to wish you both a good day as well. I hope you know where the door is. If you don't, you can ask a security guard to show you out.
Oh, burn! Burn! Better call up Pascal! Better get the health minister in here for them burns.
This is not the end, President.
Yeah, I know. I might lose the election.
You will hear from us again.
What, you gonna join forces? The two men packed their belongings and left the meeting room. I think that meeting went awesome, because it was fun. Oh, yeah. So, what do we got looking at? Negative. Let's just look at this. Negative presidential approval rating. Oh, man. We're still below a 25% approval rating. Today, the Sordland State Corporation has officially opened its shares to investors. Many groups and organizations are racing to acquire shares within the corporation. Two major organizations, the Heart of Sordland and the Lothar Group, are competing against each other for the majority. Nevertheless, there are voices of discontentment within the USP. We should be expecting some pushback within the assembly. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to get as much money as we can for the country with this. Police launched successful raids earlier this week. The police launched raids on shops, warehouses in Avery City and Astor City. Their operations were reported to confiscate more than 2,000 illegal firearms and drugs. Oh, let's get some of those. The captain of the police force in charge of these raids has released a statement saying that the shops are from the two notorious crime families, the Skinner and Coronelli family. We have a massive problem in this country, I've shown it off before, with organized crime. Maybe the spending on improving our police force is that they're going after the organized crime. These operations were only possible due to the law enforcement budget increase. Woot woot. It has allowed us to launch investigations of the local police, purging the corrupt ones and getting information about their networks, said the Minister of the Interior. It appears that thanks to President Anton, law and order will soon come back to Sordland. That is great news. And then, of course, we already know this about privatizing the two companies. What's the economist say? Rayne determined to end recession. They're going to like that we privatized the companies. President Rayne has shown that he has what it takes. He's got moxie, kid, to stop the recession, as he announced the most ambitious plan to date: the complete privatization of the Swordish State Corporation and Needham Mining. Solving the recession may not be an easy task, but this is a definitive step to end it once and for all. In the short term, the assets of these companies will be completely privatized and procured by the highest bidder. In the long term, this will trigger a revitalization of our economy by introducing a healthier competition in the Swordish marketplace. This healthy competition will be the key in stopping the recession due to the improved efficiency as the result of it. Privatization is the solution to the recession, and President Rayne has proven that this time he will fix the errors of his predecessors. Despite national polling, right now the newspapers like us. And on the world stage, the Quintana Security Pact criticizes Rumberg and Arcasia. These guys always be bitching. Ooh, and what do we got way out here? Please be good news. Uh-oh, Rumberg. Rumberg informs of whistleblower escape. Rumberg has informed us about an escaped whistleblower heading to Sordland. They have prematurely requested the extradition of any whistleblowers from the Rumberg if they are to be found. Cheston Hailstone said the whistleblower is reported to possess highly sensitive information about a covert weapons program. Queen Beatrice Livingston's administration has demanded the immediate return of Hailstone, considering his defection a breach of trust between the two nations. Hey, I don't have anything to do with that. If he brings us information, I think it's totally fair for us to read it. What do we got for next time? Assembly vote on constitutional change. We're ending the episode here. Not to be a cliffhanger, but because, man, it is such a long shot. I don't know if we really have a chance to get the Constitution through. I have done everything I can to fight for the rights of the people, to fight for the 3% threshold, and to fight for a free market. We've certainly alienated the conservatives in our own party, but I think they were alienated before this point. They didn't like that we want to really open up the nation for democracy. We really want people to get to vote for who they want and get that representation. So hopefully, selling the two big companies won't have hurt us too much. Either way, I'm scared to click that button. That's a problem for next time. Thanks for hanging out, y'all.